Todd Grimshaw has always been the man with an answer. Quick-witted, sharp-tongued and permanently 10 steps ahead, he has built a reputation on being able to talk his way out of almost anything. That is precisely why watching him now, stripped of confidence, isolated, and visibly frightened, is so deeply unsettling. Theo Silverton has not destroyed Todd's life in one dramatic explosion. Instead, he has dismantled it piece by piece, with chilling patience. The result is the darkest chapter Todd has ever faced, and if Gareth Pierce is to be believed, the worst is still to come. What began as discomfort on the cobbles has evolved into something genuinely harrowing. Seeing Todd, a character defined by his resilience, reduced to a shell of himself under Theo's control is both a devastating watch and a masterclass in performance from Pierce. It is compelling television, but it is also profoundly distressing. Theo Silverton is a predator in every sense. He didn't arrive throwing punches or making threats. He started quietly, a comment here, a doubt planted there. Slowly, methodically, he chipped away at Todd's confidence, rewriting his reality one moment at a time. This is the true horror of coercive control. It whispers before it screams. By the time the victim realizes what is happening, the walls have already closed in. The recent special episode, shot through the cold eye of security cameras and body cam footage, was an inspired creative choice. It felt invasive, almost uncomfortably intimate. Watching Todd through grainy lenses, constantly glancing over his shoulder, flinching at sudden sounds, brought the reality of his domestic nightmare into sharp focus. This storyline has never been solely about physical violence, though that line has already been crossed. It is about the psychological prison Theo has built around him. The gaslighting has been relentless. Theo has convinced Todd that his friends don't care, that he is alone, that he should be grateful for Theo's presence at all. So when Todd finally found the courage to fight back, after discovering he was being tracked, it felt like a rare flicker of hope. Viewers were desperate for him to reclaim some control. But with a manipulator like Theo, hope is dangerous. The confrontation was never going to end cleanly. Theo provoked Todd with calculated precision, pushing every emotional button until Todd lashed out. When Theo struck the coffee table and fell unconscious, the narrative shifted instantly. In a single moment, Theo transformed from abuser to victim, at least in the eyes of the law. Now Todd is living a nightmare. He has lost his job. He has been cut off from his support system. Worse still, the police suspect him of being the abuser. Billy, George and Sarah, the people who have anchored him for years, have been pushed away. Todd now stands alone in a police station, trying to explain a situation that looks damning on paper. Theo has played this perfectly. He is winning the long game. Speaking at the premiere of the major crossover event, Gareth Pierce offered insight into Todd's mental state, and it only deepened the unease. As an actor, Pierce explained, "You're rarely told where a storyline will end. You have to locate the emotional truth in each scene and work out where rock bottom lies." He admitted that recent episodes felt like that lowest point, before hinting that things actually become far worse. Doubly trapped, is how Pierce described Todd's position. Trapped by the psychological damage of abuse, and now trapped by the legal system. There is an overwhelming claustrophobia to this storyline, the desperate urge for someone, anyone, to see through Theo's facade. But Theo is charming, plausible, and devastatingly convincing. Against this backdrop comes the highly anticipated Coronation Street and Emmerdale crossover, one of the most ambitious stunts in soap history. From tram crashes to plane disasters, viewers have seen spectacular chaos before, but this car pileup promises a scale unlike anything we've known. It's the kind of catastrophe that forces characters together who would otherwise never cross paths. For Todd, the timing couldn't be worse. Pierce revealed that Todd is initially unconscious in the aftermath of the crash, a detail that raises terrifying possibilities. An injured, vulnerable Todd, unable to defend himself, while Theo potentially lurks nearby. The danger is immense. A chaotic crash site, limited witnesses, twisted metal and confusion could be the perfect setting for Theo to tighten his grip or manipulate events even further. Then there's Tracy Barlow. Pierce laughed as he described Tracy jumping on top of Todd during filming, one of the more bizarre moments on set. But knowing Tracy, her actions could mean anything: heroism, self-preservation, or sheer chaos. Her involvement at such a critical moment injects a volatile unpredictability into the storyline. Could she be the one to finally see through Theo? Or will she unintentionally complicate matters further? Either way, it's classic Coronation Street: high stakes, human messiness, and moral ambiguity colliding. Filming the crash was physically demanding. Pierce spoke about having to remain completely still while pyrotechnics exploded around him. No flinching, no reacting, just vulnerability. Yet the real tension lies ahead. When Todd wakes up, disoriented, injured, emotionally broken, and realizes where he is, the fear is almost unbearable. Fans are desperate for justice, but Coronation Street appears determined to drag Todd through every possible layer of suffering first. His isolation is the most heartbreaking aspect of all. Watching Billy and George doubt him, or simply not show up, cuts deep. They are his family, but this, too, is how abusers operate, isolating victims until they have nowhere left to turn. Todd believing that he is the problem is Theo's ultimate victory. As the crossover episodes approach, the stakes could not be higher. This isn't just about a car crash. It's about survival: physical, emotional, psychological. Can Todd endure the wreckage of the accident and the devastation of his relationship? Right now, he's barely holding on. The crossover promises spectacle, scale, and chaos. But for Todd fans, it's the emotional reckoning that truly matters. We want Theo exposed. We want Todd back on the cobbles with his head held high and his trademark wit intact. Yet even if he escapes Theo's immediate grasp, the damage left behind will not vanish overnight. Coronation Street deserves credit for tackling coercive control with such honesty, especially by showing that it can happen to anyone. Todd was always the one who saw through people. That he fell into this trap is a sobering reminder of how sophisticated and dangerous manipulators can be. We are all rooting for Todd. But with confirmation that the road ahead only gets darker, it's clear the coming weeks will be brutal. The anticipation surrounding this crossover is reaching fever pitch, a once-in-a-generation collision of worlds. And amid the explosions and chaos, one truth remains: Todd Grimshaw's survival is what matters most. Whether he is saved by Tracy Barlow or forced to save himself, viewers will be watching every second, hoping he finds his way back to the light before Theo drags him under for good.